There are so many things in this country of ours that are unregulated. And one of them is the health sector. Do you know there are certain medications, especially anticholinergic medications for hyperhidrosis, that people can buy without a prescription? I'm not against it. But the problem is, do you even know your type and category of sweat? You're just buying oral medication because you saw it in a forum where people are talking about how they even take some of those medications, they crush them and mix with water, and they apply them in other areas of their body where they experience sweat. And you go ahead to do some of these things. I know you're trying to find a solution, but do you really know your type and category of sweat? Let's dive into this. If you've ever consulted HAK, you know that we have to conduct the Q&A sweat background check. These sessions are very imperative because they aid in understanding your type and category of sweat, as well as rule out possibilities of underlying causes. This will include underlying medical conditions or rather secondary factors that contribute to your sweat. So there is this issue of anticholinergic medications. As the founder of HAK, myself personally, I always insist and recommend that the sweat family should consult a certified dermatologist. Why is it important to consult a certified dermatologist? Because you really need to understand the root cause of your sweat. Are there underlying causes? Maybe your sweat is more secondary than it is primary. Any sweat that is earlier than the age of 25, so from 24 kurudi nyuma, it's primary focal hyperhidrosis. Unaweza anza kusweat at the age of 20. That's primary. That's PFH. It can start at early childhood, puberty, teenagehood, as long as it's earlier than the age of 25. That is PFH. Any sweat that is from the age of 25 and above, it's secondary sweating, meaning this is sweat that is a side effect to a medication or an underlying medical condition. It's important ujue your type and category of sweat, because from there you will know which is the best treatment solution for your sweat. If you have a hormonal imbalance, which tumeona sana with ladies, or other secondary causes, believe me, even excessive alcohol consumption and substance abuse leads to excessive sweating. Weight. If you're overweight, these Q&A sessions, they're supposed to help you understand your sweat. Then the next step is to consult a certified dermatologist. What they do, they conduct medical tests. Those medical tests will they provide what we call the clinical diagnosis. So now your sweat has been clinically diagnosed to either primary focal or secondary generalized. What do I mean? Ukienda kwa daktari na conduct hizo test, the results zenye anapata, matokeo ya hizo medical test, hiyo sasa ndo inafanya ujue your type of sweat. Results is what will tell whether, or rather the results will give the clinical diagnosis of your sweat. Is it primary focal or secondary generalized? And then from there, sasa daktari anaweza akaamua which is the best oral medication, anticholinergic medication for hyperhidrosis to initialize. And they're of different classes, different brands. Kuna glycopyrrolate. There is also oxybutynin or oxybutynin. This oral medication, they do have side effects. This is why I insist, enda kwa daktari, wacha wafanye medical test. They can go a step further of even checking your medical history. And this is through Q&A. Watakuuliza, is there a history of medical issues in your family? So wanaangalia, from that they'll be able to know which dosage to initialize. So you have a prescription from a certified dermatologist. Unanunua either glycopyrrolate or oxybutynin or any other, because they are different brands, but they fall under anticholinergics medication. Lakini sasa wewe mwenyewe ukianza kujifanyia your own self-medication, umeenda umenunua any of those two, then sasa unaenda kwa dermatologist. The derma is now prescribing exactly what you've been using. So ukiandikiwa dawa hapo na daktari, unajipata Kenya amekuandikia is what you've been using. And then you go back for a follow-up to go and tell the doctor, the medication uliandikia, it's not working. And then when they probe you, that is when now you tell the doctor, nilikuwa nikitumia before. They are going to ask you for a prescription, and they're also going to ask you if you got that prescription from a doctor. And if you didn't get it from a doctor, you did self-medication. Most of the certified dermatologists, they get very frustrated. They don't like the fact that you're self-medicating. And they know one of the biggest challenge that we have in this country, the health sector, it's unregulated. Kama unazaenda ununua hizi anticholinergics without a prescription and you're just using it, yet you don't know your type and category of sweat, or even if you have other underlying causes. One of the side effects in heart palpitation. There are some side effects. That's why it's important, let the doctor first, go consult a certified dermatologist, let them conduct their test. They will know which oral medication to initialize and the required dosage. And then from there, they can see whether to increase the dosage or maintain the same dosage. But now you're self-medicating. Look, I'm not against people trying to find solution. I'm not against. In fact, I encourage you to find the appropriate solution that is practical and sustainable. However, bear in mind that every treatment you sought out for, you must do or conduct a proper research and ask questions. That's why HAK exists,